Now we're recording. So, hmm, welcome to OLC, Online Language Community. My name is Kevin. So today we're going to talk about the topic giving directions and recommendation. I know, uh, this is like a more review for this thing. So we're going to start with a little icebreaker. In this icebreaker, we're going to watch a little video. That in this video, uh, it can explain a little some direction or some culture tips for asking and giving directions. So tell me if you can see the video and if you can hear it. And if you can hear it.
Con Full Tigo tienes lo que quieres. Lleva un plan postpago más internet, hogar y Max incluido por un año por solo 100.
Excuse me.
You can listen and watch and see the video.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So let's start.
Do you know where the museum?
Con Full Tigo tienes lo que quieres. Lleva un plan postpago más internet, hogar y Max incluido por un año por solo 100.
Excuse me. Do you know where the Museum of Modern Art is? Yes. You should go this street down, and then there is a. And you should. You know what? I'm gonna just use Google Maps. Thank you. How do you give directions in English? Hello, my name is Maddie from POC English, and in this lesson we are going to learn how to ask for and give directions. First, I will teach you different types of streets. Then, we will learn prepositions of place to say where a building or a location is. After that, I will teach you how to ask for and give directions in English. And finally, I will show you a map, and then you will have to give me directions using the vocabulary and the language you have learned in this lesson. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Okay, let's start with different street types. What are the differences between avenues or roads or streets or lanes or ways or trails or maybe boulevards or highways? What are the differences? Let's start with number one, road. What's a road? A road is a way that connects two places so that people can walk or drive or ride easily. A road can be paved, maybe with asphalt, or even made of dirt or stones. So road is a general term. Now, what is a street? A street is a public road inside the city with buildings on one side or on both sides. What is an avenue? A wide street is called an avenue. So a street is narrow, an avenue is wide. What are lanes or ways? Well, lanes and ways are narrow streets within residential blocks. What is a boulevard? A boulevard is a wide and important street in a city with an island in the middle, which is usually filled with grass, flowers, or even trees. And finally, what's a highway? A highway is a very wide street with several lanes on each side, and cars usually go fast on the highways. Now, knowing different types of streets, it is time to learn the prepositions of place to say where a building or a location is. Look at this scheme I've made for you. There are four buildings, buildings A, B, C, and D, and there are two roads, first road and second road. Now, look at the first one. Where is building A? Building A is next to building B, or building A is across from building C. Now it's across from or it's opposite building C. Where is building A? Next to building B or across from opposite building C. Now, where is B? B is between A and D. And where is D? D is next to B, right? But you can also say D is on the corner of First and Second Street. So the prepositions you can use are across from or opposite, next to, between, or on the corner of. Now, let's see how we can ask for direction from someone we have seen on the street. If you are not looking for a specific place, you can use this question. Is there a around here or near here? For example, is there a bank near here? Is there a supermarket around here? Is there a pet shop near here? However, if you are looking for a specific place, you can use this question. Where is the, and then in the blank, you say the name of the place. For example, where is the Battery Park? Or where is the Rockefeller Center? You can also use this question. How can I get to? How can I get to St. Patrick's Cathedral? Or how can I get to public library? Now, who are you asking these questions to? Strangers on the street, right? So you might want to be very polite. In this case, you can start your questions with, can you tell me? Or do you know? However, when you use these phrases at the beginning of your questions, the question structure has to change. These are called indirect questions and are very polite. How can you make indirect questions? Let me show you. Look at this question. Where is the Rockefeller Center? I want to make it more polite, so I start with, do you know? When I start with do you know, I have to change something in the main question. But what? I have to change the place of my auxiliary verb and the subject of the question. What is the auxiliary here? Is. And what is the subject of the question? Rockefeller Center. So let's change the place. Do you know where the Rockefeller Center is? Now this is a very polite question. So you could either say, where is the Rockefeller Center? Or be more polite and say, do you know where the Rockefeller Center is? Let me show you another example. Look at the question. How can I get to public library? I can make it more polite by saying, can you tell me? But what should I do with the main question? Take the auxiliary verb and the subject of the question and then swap the location. What is the auxiliary? Can. And what is the subject? I. So you can say, can you tell me how I can get to public library? So you could either say, how can I get to public library? Or be more polite and say, can you tell me how I can get to public library? If you want to be even more polite, instead of can, you can say could. Could you tell me how I can get to public library? Now, listen, guys, normal questions are just fine. But if you want to be more polite, you can use indirect questions. Now, let's learn how.
Okay, so first, I'll ask you, what would you do if someone asked to you? How do I get to the nearest pharmacy? Have you answered that question, Daniel?
I think, you think, teacher, I could say to that person, for example, go straight ahead and turn left as the following corner. And in front of the bakery, you can find the drugstore. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so Catherine,
That's right.
mm, yeah, is right. So Catherine, how
Is that
you answered that question?
Excuse me,
is
may
that
you
correct? I-
repeat the question? Do you listen me?
The question is, um, if someone asks to you, how do I get to the nearest pharmacy? How do you answer?
I can I can answer, for example, the pharmacy is on the corner or between the bakery or the next to, or suddenly across to the street. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cynthia, how do you answer? If someone asks to you, where is the near pharmacy?
Teacher, I don't know.
Teacher, teacher,
Sorry, and I go for a delivery, and I'm back. So Cynthia, sorry, and the question is, if someone asks you, how do I get to the nearest pharmacy? How do you answer, Cynthia?
Teacher, is like, for example,
Yeah, it's for example.
example, um, I say the pharmacy is to left the street, um, cross the street, arrive the pharmacy.
Okay, so all questions, sorry, all answer. Yeah, are okay. So let's start with a review of vocabulary for giving directions. So these are common phrases that is used to help someone to find a place. That it's go straight ahead, turn right, turn left, at the corner, next to, in front of, behind, cross the street, traffic light or intersection, and it's about 5 minutes away, or the time that it's about. So we use the go straight ahead, that it's the first, when it's when we keep walking or driving in the same direction without turning, sorry. In that case, we say go straight ahead, or we indicate it for someone more, go straight ahead. In another case, when the person has to change the direction at the corner or an intersection, we say turn left or turn right. It depends when we are indicating the place, we say turn left or turn right. So another thing is when we refer to where two streets meet, uh, we refer to or it's mean like at the corner. So the at the corner is when where two streets meet. So the fourth, sorry, is next to, or in front of, or behind. These are three prepositions to describe the location of something in relation to something else. For example, I'm next to your house, or I'm in front of your house, or I'm behind your house, or I'm behind you. That it's some examples for the use of the next to, in front of, or behind. We also can say it the pharmacy it's next to the the hospital, or next to the 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 avenue 40 43. It's an example. So the next is the next expression is cross the street. Cross the street, it's when the meaning of this, or when we use this, is when someone go from one side of the street to the other. So, for example, the pharmacy is crossing the street. It, it's behind the hospital crossing the street. So the next is traffic light intersection. These are points where the streets meet and the cars stop or pass. And these also indicated the transport and the traffic. It has to stop, or it has to moderate their speed, or if it's uh, it they can turn left, or cross some street, someone like this, and that is why we say the traffic light or intersections. So the last expression is it's about 5 minutes away. We use this expression um, to use to give an estimate how long it takes to walk or drive there. we we can use this expression with many time Not necessarily 5 minutes. We can use it like it's about 1 hour we're away. Why? Because we are estimated how long it takes to walk or drive there. So the next it's sorry. So you have some questions about the vocabulary of giving directions.
Suddenly, traffic light, when I can use traffic light, because I
The
have
traffic light is
friends.
like when in a street has more forms that we can cross the street, like there's more intersection for 3 4 intersections, and we use a traffic light like moderate the traffic and turning the people to when they cross the street or when cannot cross the street. uh, you understand? We're putting in another for another example to you.
That was clear. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. So the next it's grammar focus, imperative, and recommendation. So the imperative in this it's like a command. Uh, these are used when we giving directions, and this is something that you have to know. It's the subject. I mean, you is not mentioned because it's understood. I mean, when you say turn left at the bank, it's understood that you have to turn left at the bank. Or when someone tells you go straight for 2 blocks, it's understood that you have to keep walking 2 blocks. Of in the case that someone tells you it's take the second street on the right, it's understood that you have to find the second street and turn right. This is because they sound direct, but they're polite when they use it in contents with a friendly tone. And we use an imperative to form to give instructions to tell someone more what to do and to give someone a step by step. And this is very fast and clear front and directly to indicate it and to use for perfect for situation where someone else or someone more needs to help quickly. So the imperatives is this: turn left, turn go straight, or take a second. That is some commands that you can use. You also can use uh, crossing the street or the expression that I give you, but it's the focus on the idea that in the imperatives are commands, and you not say it the subject or the person. You have to turn left. No, you say turn left at the back because it's understood that you are talking and giving the directions to them, to here or there. So some examples for imperatives. We can say in turn left, like a imperative, we don't say you turn left. We say turn left. Why? Because it's already understood that we are referring to you. Or go straight. You're giving a simple command and not asking a question. So that is the why or the because we don't use the subject in imperative sentence when we are giving directions. And it works because imagine someone more is lost. They need a quick and easy instructions, not to learn a complicated sentence. So that is the reason that we use imperative to give directions. Is all complete about the imperatives?
What do you say, last teacher?
Uh, I'm saying that it's all clear about the imperative for giving directions or recommendations.
For me, I understand you. Is imperative is most easily to give a direction very fast, right?
Yeah, yeah. The imperatives is used in to give direction because we make the instruction more easily and fast, and we're saying more fast that 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 use a complicated structure of giving direction like you have to go down to no tr go straight uh or take the second street, say something like that. That is why we use the imperatives for giving directions. Okay, so I'm thinking there's no more questions about. It's all clear about why we use the imperatives.
Yes, teacher.
So yes,
I would like to say that it's curious when people have to give directions using imperatives because you want to be polite, but it's not necessary. So you just give the direction, and people
yeah,
understand what what to do, and they don't feel they don't feel bad or they don't feel or is it isn't an uncomfortable situation. Just keep the direction and that's all.
yeah. That is why we use the imperatives. So continuing with models to imperatives to uh, recommendations. Okay, the models grammar, so the model for recommendations, we use the models like should, could, might, want, and want to. Sorry. Um, let me. I'm writing to you. Yeah. Should, could, and What others I said it? Too cool. I might and went to. Okay, so these are some verbs that we use in models recommendations. Okay, so we use the model recommendations because you don't you don't know or why you when we suggest or recommend something like you should try the local food or like you could take a taxi if it's late. Oh, why don't you ask at the hotel reception? So sorry, I forget this. That is important. I don't. Okay, so this models is used in many situations for sound more polite and these are more indirect and polite than the imperatives. The more recommendations are used to suggest something to a recommendation and action or to offer help polite, but it's not like a command. And use models to give recommendations. It shows or they show the possibility of the advice or politeness. For example, if you want to say someone or recommend someone um, some local food, you can say you should try the local food APK or it's it's the night or it's too late and someone has to or need to to go back to her home or their home. You can set it like a model to show the possibility of the advice or politeness. You could take a taxi if it's too late. In this, when you said it, you could take a taxi if it's late. You're offering an option and not telling them what have to do. For the moment, retrace the steps and consider that the phrase that I'm going to write. You should try the local food. Okay, so in this sentence, put it more like you can see more. Okay, you should try the local food. In this phrase, you are is denoting or is the meaning that the expression it's mean like a recommendation and you are not forcing them just giving helpful advice and it sounds very polite. So another example, why don't you mm, I don't know ask the author reception or ask the author. Okay, why don't you ask at the hotel? So the model to why don't is used like when we are asking someone more, and it is used to as sort of friendly suggestions. this case is why don't you ask at the hotel? So it is important to use the models to sound more polite than the commands. And when you're not sure what the person wants or if they feel comfortable, it's better to suggest instead of ordering. So, if someone more, now, putting in an example, and imagine it, you are in a party and you do take your brother or some friend to the party, and that hello, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, sorry, I'm lost the connection. And what is the last thing that you hear me to say? Was the last thing that I said or that I'm saying like I'm explaining the models or when I lost the connection, you can tell me. ¿Qué fue lo último que me escucharon decir o en qué parte había quedado? Porque pues, se me perdió la conexión.
If someone asks to about some direction, and we use why don't
Okay,
we
okay,
ask about.
okay. So we use why don't when we are making a suggestion, and the why don't is always use it, or the more is more frequently we use it when we are asking someone more, and but we are doing in a polite form. For example, why don't you ask at the hotel? This is a question that sounds a soft and friendly suggestion, and the the meaning of the sentence it's making more polite than the comments, and we Jordan when you use the models you are not sure what the person wants of if they feel comfortable in the situation that they state, or if it's better to suggest instead of the ordering. For example, imagine it, you are in a party and you take your brother or some friend for that party, and and you're happy and you're fine and you're enjoying the party, and your brother uh, go for you and tell to you why we don't go to home. In that moment, your brother is suggesting, and he don't know if you are enjoyable or if you're happy in the party. But your brother is suggesting to you go for home in a for polite or a friend. That's why we use the models to express the situations more polite than the comments do. So if you have some question about this,
No, teacher, about this clear.
okay.
We can use it now. Want to avoid them, to be more polite, or ask some suggestion about our happiness, or if suddenly don't enjoy something.
Yes. Okay, so let's what?
Revisarlo. Sí, por favor, me lo reviso.
Where are you sitting at? I can hear you. Daniel, I can hear you. Sound like you have some interference or if you are like it.
¿Y ahorita? ¿Qué fue lo que cayó? ¿Lo repite?
I will
Um, maybe the open her his microphone. I don't know. Mm, like, okay, so we are going to continue into cultural tips. So, what is a cultural tip? A cultural tip, it's like they understand how different cultures give, how
¿Tauro?
different
¿Dónde
cultures
se puede hacer?
work.
¿Con Pisces? Hablo de mil con Pisces. Sí, solo de mil.
In cultural tips in USA or in United Kingdom, the people often say I'm not sure, but I think to avoid be, being wrong. There before in Colombian, the locals and we are usually helpful, helpful but might use landmarks instead of the street names. For example, suba hasta donde está la tienda roja y hay doble. So in Colombia we say it like was was street will go up and where's the roach mall you turn right or turn left. So that is the form that we give the directions in Colombia. But in USA or United Kingdom, many usually that some people say to you, I'm not sure, but I'm think it's 2 blocks away. And people might not have the give to the region exactly, but if they're unsure, they many times or it's usually they say I'm not sure, but I think. And this is a form polite to avoid giving wrong info. Another example to cultural gifts is in Japan. In Japan, when if a tourist is lost, a Japanese person may walk with them to help them to find the place. Uh, this is a part of their hospitality culture, and it's called in Japanese omotedashi. So the meaning of the omotenashi in Japan is the hospitality culture that the Japanese people help to you. In, in Instead, in Colombia, the Colombians are very friendly. We are very friendly. Instead using the street names, they often and we often use the landmarks. So this is a common and especially in small towns that use some phrases like go up to where the store and then turn down. And where it is important to learn cultural tips. It's important because we're understanding how how different cultures give directions or help tourists helps you. And it also can avoid misunderstandings and make the communication more polite and adapt your way of speaking in international situations. For example, in Colombia, if you use too many street names, tourists may get confused, and it's better to say next to the bakery with the red sign. And focus on idea that the cultural affects communications. So, knowing cultural customs helps you to connect better with the people from around the world. Even if you know the language that it's speaking in that country, it's better know it's also necessary know the cultural affects communications and what is the cultural tips of that country because that helps you connect better with that country. So, for resume, the imperatives we use it to give clear and fast instructions. Examples as turn right or go to blocks. And the modal verbs we use it to suggest politely or give options. You could take the bus, you could take the train, you could take the plane. You're giving suggestions, the formally polite. And the cultural reference it's used to guide in a local or familiar way. When, for example, we say the turn where the red store is in Colombia, but in USA or United Kingdom, UK, it's more usually that they say turn turn right and go down 2 blocks and you can see the bakery. So for this moment, you have some question or any question about this topic?
Teacher, in this meeting, we need to fill in the some link to mark my participation or not.
Yeah, yeah. There's some link for participation. I'm I'm routing to you in the
The
chat.
scope of the class is very clear. The lesson is
Okay.
very clear for me. You can learn how to give a good direction if you suddenly travel to other country, because that class is very useful for me. I know my friends, my classmates.
Okay. I'm grateful that it's helped to you. So before I shared the link, you said even that you have to leave the this session now.
Yep, I need to wait to left
Okay.
to left the session.
Okay. I'm giving to in the chat the two links. Fill up. One link is Google Forms. Please fill up, and the other is the assistance link.
Well, thank you, teacher.
Okay. So there is a small activity, and this is the last for this class. Is write a about answer about the someone ask you. Can you recommend a good place to eat near here? So I'm thinking you can read it in 5 minutes. You think that is enough? So when you finish your answer, please post in the chat and say it. So you finished the answering the question. Can you recommend a good place it near here, or you need more time?
Yes, teacher, I need more time, please.
Okay.
Teacher, I have a question. Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
how did you say ruta? Ruta, por ejemplo. For example, take la ruta tal. How would you say that? Toma la ruta, toma la
Take,
ruta.
mira, te lo escribo. Take the route
Route?
and post in the chat. Take the route and you say what's the route.
Uh, just say, take the road P50 or P50 and wait
I can say it as
for
say it
example,
in as
Take the road. How do you spell it, please, teachers? I can see the chat section.
Ah, okay. So take the root is Take space T-E-T-H-E space R-O-U-T-E. Take the root.
Okay, listen. For example, here in Bogota, here at Codito neighborhood, I I I would say if someone asks me, if
I
someone asks me,
can
can you recommend me a good place to eat near here? I would say the 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 nearest place to eat here is Santa Fe Mall. You
uh,
could take a taxi or take a bus on 4th Street bus stop. Take the road here. Road is 900 and wait until 5 stop,
yes,
and then
you can say it that.
you get off the bus. And you can find the mall in front of the bus stop. Something like that.
See? Yes, sorry.
Okay. Good. They leave us alone. They're gone. The teacher.
Okay. So something that is all today for the class. Something if hopefully that you can learn that you learned something new, and that is all today. Thank you for your participants, and that is all. Have a good night.
Okay, teacher. Thank you very much. I have a last question. If
Please
my
tell me.
all these classes are how can I say that? I always forget it. I always forget it. Um, um, assessed, assessed, or they have points. They have points for the courses.
I'm seeing you have points that is given to you for the assistant leads, and your tutor assistant that points.
Okay, but if I fill out, if I fill out the assistance, if I don't fill out the assistance, what will happen
What is happen of what?
if I don't fill fill up the assistance? The assistance.
The if you don't fill up. So I'm not sure about that, but I'm saying you have to participate in some classes, and it comes to you like you're not a CISA class, so you don't receive the point of that class.
Yes, I have that doubt because I've been participating in chat one on one this class, and the other class was I forget the first class.
You're participating in the difference of OLC, no?
Listening drills. I was participating in listening
Okay.
drills, chat one on one, and this session as, as well. So I would like to know if my participation is going to take points for my courses. How can I just be secure about it?
Yeah. Can you repeat that?
How can I be secure about those points about the if
That points or the points that I send you is from your tutor. Your tutor assigned that points to you.
okay, but how is he able to know about it? How is he able to
Um, no,
to make
and I don't have that information that how you can see what is the total points that you have. That you can question or asking that for your tutor and your professor, and he may answer to you that question.
okay, okay, no problem. I will ask him because I am attending two courses, no, three courses, uh, practice of English, foreign language and acquisition and learning, English TIC. Yes, those three courses I am attending. And I don't know if the classes have points related to those courses.
Ajá, and setting, o sea, como te decía, lo de los puntos, eso te los asigna el tutor
Sí,
del curso tuyo. Esos puntos no sé realmente cómo tú puedes verlos o cómo tú puedes saber cuántos puntos. Pero lo que sí sé es que el INDE de asistencia eh, les da a ellos como the certificate that you are assist some classes and that is y eso es o sea, le da la certificación a ellos que tú asististe a esas tutorías o esas clases. Y por eso es que es importante que llenes el link de asistencia.
the assistance link is this one in the chat. Okay, okay.
The task.
¿Te mandaste en el chat?
Yes.
Okay. Sí, porque había dicho que había mandado dos, ¿no? Uno que era el link y otro que era qué? No lo entendí bien. Yo solo mandó uno. Yo solo veo uno.
Sí. O sea, que te habían mandado dos links.
Sí, pero no, yo solo veo uno aquí en el chat.
No, ni idea.
¿Ese es el de asistencia? Pues yo
No,
a
pero ahí
ver,
están los dos. Ahí están juntos. Espera, espérate, lo vuelvo a poner. Te los pongo aparte.
Ah, ¿salen en el mismo
Este
link?
es uno y este es otro. Ya te salen bien.
Ahora sí los veo, profe. Ok, entonces
Ah,
voy a llenar esos dos, y ya con eso pues, allá los tutores mirarán a ver qué, qué hacen con eso,
sí,
¿no? ¿Sí?
sí.
Okay, teacher, thank you very much for
Que es,
your class and your knowledge. I really learned